Pounders, we are back doing what we do best, and that is putting $10 into another best ball tournament. But this one's going to be on DraftKings tonight. Until we get the puppy, we're going to be slamming these DraftKings tournaments, and the ADPs are still unsettled. There's a lot of edges that I feel we still have right now. So I'm going to continue to draft until these ADPs get better, until I stop getting auto drafters in every single draft. So we'll see if we get one here. I want to pull up something real quick. Here's my first round rankings for full PPR and the 3-point bonus. This Chase and Cup at 3 and 4, you can change them out. Completely fine with switching them out. But CMC at 2, JJ at 1, Eckler at 5. I think his rank is 8 now, but it used to be like 11 at the tournament open. So absolutely still ridiculous. Like, he has to move down. He was obviously the number 1 in full point PPR last season, and that goes for wide receivers as well. He outscored Justin Jefferson, who was a wide receiver 1. Season before that, he was the RB2 behind Jonathan Taylor's just enormous year that he had in 21. Kelsey, is any tight end going to catch as many balls as Travis Kelsey? Like, I highly doubt it. So full point PPR, Kelsey's going to be really nice. He's also one of those guys that's going to hit the 100-yard bonus several times this season. Tyreek Hill for those blow-up games, of course. Diggs, Lamb. Lamb goes too late in these. We'll get into it, and his rank is it's like 15 or something ridiculous. Bijan at 10, AJ Brown, and then Amon-Ra, who's ranked like 18th right now. So we are getting some of these early values. And let's jump on in. Who's in the live chat? Who do we got? Peanut Butter Waivers, what's up, my man? Welcome to the live stream. Let's jump on in. Let's see what place, how many people we need. I will say the UI is just, it's not great. But guess what? It's not great for everyone. So there's no board. You kind of have to keep track a little bit of, and it's easier if you're on the turn to see like what people need. If you're in the 11 spot, you really only have to worry about the 12 spot. So it's pretty easy. If you're in the middle of the draft, like sort of like good luck, pretty much. Crap, that one filled fast. If you guys are in this, let me know what spot you're drafting at. So we're at 11. So we really only have to worry about the 12 spot team, which is nice. And let's show you these ADPs right now. So Cup is at 6. Diggs, Eckler's at 9. You can see this ADP of 9.7. So it is moving down. CeeDee Lamb's at 15 and Amon-Ra's at 17. So I'm completely fine with going like Amon-Ra and CeeDee Lamb, to be honest, at this 11, 14 spot. We'll see what Dada does. Da. Let's go. We're drafting something always. Ranstan says he's at 9. Let's go. Love stars was on my man Bijan behind Kelsey. Yeah, that's where I have him. That's where I had him. I kind of like the 11 or 12 spot. Yeah, there's some really good values there right now. Because those QBs, sure, you can take them right now, and that's great. That's all well and good. But risers and fallers for this tournament that's going to be open for the whole off season, they're not really going to rise that much. So let's go ahead and let's get those shares later into the season, because we're just not projecting them to rise that much. You have Jalen Hurts going at 12. You know, that's peaked. That's peaked. Where CeeDee Lamb, PPR monster, they got rid of Schultz. They didn't add a tight end except for Shoemaker, super deep into the draft. That's not going to hurt Lamb at all. AJ Brown at 18 is a crime. You will have more advances, I believe, in Amon-Ra St. Brown, especially because that quick start he's going to get in the first 6 games. Mario, what's up, my man? He's in at 6. And we got Ryan at the 8 spot. I was going to say, this did fill up pretty fast. So we got a few pounders in the draft. Welcome, fellas. Welcome. This UI is absolutely brutal. But people have not adjusted yet. They have not adjusted to the full point PPR, 3-point bonus for 300 passing yards or 100 reception or rushing yards. So we're just going to take advantage of that as much as we can. We're always looking for each edge, each advantage, and we just exploit it as much as possible. And right now, that's going to be these early shifting ADPs, auto drafters, just casuals. A lot of casuals in these rooms right now, the first couple days. So let's pull up pick history because this is one way to track it at least. It's something that you can actually see as some sort of visual, which is it's something. We got Cooper Kupp at the 8 spot in my last draft. Here he goes at 5. He should be in the top 4 in my opinion. But again, Eckler, he's going way too late too. We'll see if you guys save us any value. So we have someone at the 105, 106, and 108, and 109. So we got quite a few pounders in this draft. So it might be a little tougher than normal. These drafts are usually very soft. So it's been fun. And I'd like to know everyone's thoughts on the payouts. I think they did just a little better job at flattening it out at the top. It goes from I'll actually pull up a really nice chart done by someone on the Twitter machine to show. Look at that. Eckler at 9. That's just beautiful. That's beautiful. AJ Brown goes. Let's bring in CeeDee Lamb. There's less unknowns with CeeDee Lamb versus Devontae Adams. They didn't add any other weapons to Dallas. Not a running back, not for wide receivers. Like his role can't be more safe. It really couldn't be. Devontae Adams, there is quite the unknown with the change in quarterback. You have Jacoby Myers going over. That being said, he's elite. But I think for full point PPR, guaranteed bonuses at 100 yards, give me CeeDee Lamb and give me Amon-Ra right here. On the way to building a monster. Let's go. What's the tweet I want to pull up? I just retweeted it. And it's a chart by John Jackson. I'll shout out to him for making this. And it's going to be the difference between the BBM4 and DraftKings Millie Maker. So this tournament here. So here's advance rates. So it advance out of the first round, weeks 1 through 14. The top 2 advance in both tournaments. After that, for BBM4, 1 out of 16 advances to the next week. And then after that, week 16 to get into the week 17, it's 1 out of 16 again. The finals is 441 people, so roughly 1/3, 33% of this right here, 1364. So it is much smaller for a finals group, which means on DraftKings you're going to need more correlation, and it's going to be more for upside, more focused on week 17 because it is easier to get there. 2 out of 12 advance out of the weeks 1 to 14, then 1 out of 12, 1 out of 12 again. So it's almost twice as high of a chance to get into the finals. But again, this finals group is much, much bigger. One's a $25 tournament, one's a 10. Here you have 3 million for first, 1 million for first for DK, 526,000 for second, goes to $1 million. Then all of a sudden, DK, 400K for third. And I think this is where Underdog kind of fell off a little bit with third place and going down. They could have done a little better. But again, they wanted that fat stack at the top. That's just their choice. And they do have the regular season payouts as well. That is something to think about. Nick Chubb goes here at 21. It's going to be early for Nick Chubb. Definitely should be behind Pollard in full point PPR. Same thing with Henry. Henry has to be behind like this whole slew of people. So he is falling in this draft, so we do have a little sharper room. I can tell. See if we have anything ridiculous happen so far. Yeah. Lamar at 15. Lamar at 15. ADP of 29. Sure, if you're only going to do 1 or 2 drafts, go ahead and get your guys. But if you're doing 20, 15, 20 even, like you can probably guarantee you can get Lamar at 25 in one of those, 2 of those, 3 of those. So we already got the reachers. Back-to-back drafts here at the 8 spot. Ryan says, took Diggs in both. My lowest exposed top guy, so I'm trying to get some more exposure. Don't love it. You know, Diggs has been consistent. He hasn't had those absolute enormous weeks where you're like, wow, you needed him for that tournament. Or I just think he's more of a cash game guy. So I kind of have that same feeling where I don't love, like absolutely love taking him in the first. Now, after ADP, I'm fine with it. Or if I'm trying to correlate, he's still like, I'm not going to have less than 8% of Diggs. But I do feel that same way. Metcalf, it's going to be early for Metcalf. Again, this tournament is going to be for the whole offseason. It's like 1.1 million people in it, and Metcalf's ADP is most likely it's going to be here in this range. You could quite possibly see Ridley surpass him. All right, so we have Lamb and Amon-Ra start. Higgins is off the board. Otherwise, we could do a little Joe Burrow, Higgins. We could do Fields. You can do Fields with any lineup. He does have the possibility to hit 100 yards rushing and a 300-yard passing game. So I think that's interesting for Justin Fields. You got to think about these bonuses as well. Amon-Ra, obviously, when we get down to like the fantasy football playoffs and JMO coming back, how much is JMO going to hurt Amon-Ra's stock? I really don't think it's going to be that ridiculous. I think if anything, he's going to spread the field for him. Yeah, going Kenneth Walker there, like you can tell, like these guys are just not in tune with the NFL draft, etc. I don't mind going Harris here. We as our RB1 full point PPR. Najee Harris definitely goes way too late. I have a fair amount of Justin Fields and DJ Moore stacks, but that's another option to go down and reach a little bit to go get the stack. Completely okay. But again, Justin Fields, one of those QBs you do not need to correlate at all. Metcalf is going to go off. ER7's all over him. And that's fine. If you think he's going to go off, awesome. But draft him later in the season when his price is cheaper, right? You can still get those shares. You can get a ridiculous amount of shares, just maybe don't take them right now because you're going to pay a little higher price. Really crowd to me, JSN limits Metcalf. That's the way I see it, is Metcalf is a wide receiver that needs volume, where Tyler Lockett is going to make the most of those opportunities and take him to the house. Like 72, 73% catch rate with Geno last season. The guy doesn't get tackled much. So, yes, he's a little older, but who does he really hurt, JSN? In my opinion, my strict opinion, I think he hurts Metcalf more than he hurts Lockett. And something we can all agree on, those guys bringing in JSN helps Geno Smith. So something that is super important for these tournaments are thinking about QBs who can hit the 300-yard bonus. Where do we draw the line on QBs? Because this is a 20-round draft, but you don't want to just go 3 QBs late like you could in the big board, because these 3 QBs, Ritter, Mac Jones, and let's say you go Jimmy G, they might hit the 300-yard bonus like 5 times combined. Whereas if you get a Justin Herbert, he's going to hit it 5 times himself. So there is a big difference with QBs and tight ends. Super important when we're thinking about who can hit a 100-yard bonus with the tight end room. In my opinion, it stops it Njoku after Freiermuth had Darnell Washington added in. We'll see how they use Washington. It might be a small, but even then, they brought in a ton of they brought in Allen Robinson. There is just more competition there in Pittsburgh, which I just don't like. And sure, can one of these guys spike once for over 100 yards? Yeah, someone's gonna do it. It's gonna be one person though. It's not gonna be multiple of those guys. It's gonna be one time. So, in my opinion, someone that can have a 100-yard game maybe twice a season, Ingram, Njoku. I think the cutoff is Njoku. Brian says, I had Allen, but he had to end the 15 spot. Burrow slid because of his 300-yard bonus. Exact reason. Yeah. And I think that's interesting where maybe a naked Burrow isn't as bad because he can maybe spike with the 300-yard bonus while spreading the ball. Maybe he throws 3 touchdowns, one's to Higgins, one's to Chase. Those guys have 17-point games, nothing absolutely crazy. And Burrow still gets elevated as the QB1 that week. I think it's a potential. He used to dump it off to Mixon quite a bit too. Mixon would always get reception touchdowns. But I do think that is at least more in play in this where you do have that bonus than it is in the big board or on underdog where for Burrow especially where 2 of those guys are mostly getting all the targets, Chase and Higgins. It's a little tougher to justify. Then you're justifying rushing touchdowns for Joe Burrow. That's hard to do. Mike Williams rightfully falling. Kind of wish Gibbs was here, to be honest. Let's see. Let's go Drake London here. Swift, good PPR guy, but when you think about 100-yard bonus, probably not going to happen. four running backs in Philly's room. Kirk, sure, he could spike for 100, but how consistently? Pierce is an interesting option. Pacheco's an interesting option. Let's see how much we can push it with the running back, though. Let's go tight end. Let's go Goddard here. I think they might be a little more pass heavy in Philly this season. So we'll see. Also, Swift is it's a good landing spot, a high powered offense, but how much do they really check down to the running backs? It's not extremely high. I have a bunch of Kincaid shares. Love that. Fantasy Football Garage. What's up, my man? Now, people much smarter than me are talking about tight ends and rookie tight ends and how they typically perform their first season for fantasy football. It's usually not the best in terms of catches and yards. But I think we have to take into consideration landing spot. You can't just jumble all the data, right? And be like, on average, this happened this many times. It's yeah, sure. Trey McBride was playing behind Zach Ertz before he got hurt. Trey McBride ended up being one of the top 3 scoring tight ends for the championship week. So this is a week-to-week contest. You have to remember that as well. Do they have the capabilities to spike? Would Kincaid have the capabilities to spike? Would someone like Sam Laporta have the capabilities to spike? And I think they do. I think they do, just based on the offense they're on. So it's very, very interesting. I can't spend on that type of pick on Swift. Agreed on London over Swift. Yeah, for sure. I'm thinking bonuses and I'm thinking PPR at the same time. So we're elite at tight end. We're elite at QB. We have Najee Harris as our anchor running back, CeeDee Lamb, Amon-Ra St. Brown, and Drake London. We're up in 13 picks here in the top right. I think we can get some of these running backs that we want to come back to us. I don't like how you can't just like click on the team and it just like it doesn't pull up their roster. Hate that. I can't believe they didn't make that many changes to their best ball UI. Because what I heard like during the football season was that was the goal for this year. We see Mario here. If you guys want me to go over your rosters, I can as well. Let's kind of peek what you guys are doing. Mario's got Barkley, Dobbins, Tyreek Hill, Devonta Smith, Amari Cooper, and Watson. So going wide receivers and running backs, just stacking them up. We took a more balanced approach. Do you have a favorite DK late round pick that is different from your usual on Underdog? Yeah, definitely. Definitely. But on Underdog, where we filled out the big board, and that was a 20-round draft, and we did 150 of those. So I think that gives us an advantage in these 20-round DK drafts where, I mean, the pounders in the chat have been with us for a while, but other casuals on DraftKings, they get to the 18th round, they get to the 17th round even, they're just like, they're looking up people's names because they never heard of them before. Ryan says, ignore mine. Going unique here at 8. Let's see. Do you have... Tough because everyone's names aren't the same on YouTube, so I actually don't know. Let me know what your username is. Okay, so we see Anthony Richardson here go at 81. He's someone that day one was going in the 120s. And we have the, I mean, you're going to give me Ayuk at 83? You guys are going to give me Ayuk at 83? Is this a giveaway? Is this a free? Did I just want a giveaway? All right, Ayuk in the flex. Love that. Love that. Marquise Brown goes. That's another good pick in this range, and we'll get to those guys. Our favorite plays late because there are quite a few. Man, Treylon Burks really sticks out to me. Wide receiver 1 on the team. I don't have a RB2 yet. Can we push it another round? I don't think we can. I'm just going to bring in James Cook. Dude, there's so many good receivers here on the board. Oh my God, this range is gold. Burks, Deontay Johnson, even Brandon Cooks for the 100-yard bonus easily could hit that. This range is gold. Dotson. Okay. So maybe grabbing another running back where we picked London. I don't regret the Ayuk pick. 15 picks before ADP. I refuse. I will not. I do not regret that. Maybe London should have been a running back because this range, I would want to go 2 wide receivers in this range. I like James Cook. He's going to be a PPR beast. Don't really expect him to hit that 100-yard rushing bonus, though. Rand Stan. Okay, so we got Mr. Dookie and RCL. Let's peek what you guys are doing here. Let's see your roster construction. Mr. Dookie. Here you are. Josh Allen, Diggs, DK Metcalf, Keenan Allen, Godwin, Joe Burrow, Gabe Davis, and Brandon Cooks. So you don't have the correlation with Burrow, but I think it's a little more acceptable, at least in DraftKings, with the 3-point bonus at 300 passing yards if he spreads the ball. So you should be done at QB. Haven't picked a running back yet. Don't have your tight end. We'll see how it ends up. You did say you were doing something different. You are doing something different, that's for sure. Richardson as your QB1. I think that's smart. Eckler, Gibbs, Devontae Adams, Ridley, Michael Pittman Jr., Pacheco, and Burks. Super strong on the bench. We'll see if Richardson hits this 300 yards passing bonus. He probably has a better chance of hitting the rushing bonus at 100 yards than he does the passing bonus. But he is someone that we're expecting to rise in price, especially, oh my God. This guy gets any bit of good news in the offseason, and it's going to be like, pick 41, Anthony Richardson. Like, it's going to happen. People overreact. But right now, I think that's an acceptable value where you're getting him. I think it's smart. Philly. So we do have a little correlation between Philly here with CeeDee Lamb in Dallas. We're up in 7 picks. Freiermuth off the board. I think this is right around the range where we would start to think about Williams, especially with our running back construction, where we kind of put it off a little bit. I think he would make sense for our build. Now, if you have like 3 strong running backs, you can do that as well. But if he's going to be your RB2, that's where I'm like, probably not. So we'll see if he gets back to us. Because we could just stack vets around him to get him to where he's healthy. Okay. Sutton goes. Surprised Quentin Johnson's still there, to be honest. All right. We have him if we want him. Let's see what Dada needs. I should have been doing this before, but just always. Jalen Hurts. So he's got 2 QBs. So we should be able to get our man Jared Goff. Let's see if this guy wants to cause us max pain and draft his 3rd QB here. Please don't. Please don't. I asked nicely, so I think we're good. I think we're okay. I asked nicely. We would be bringing in Jared Goff with Amon-Ra. We could always go late Sam Laporta as well. Don't do it. Don't even think about it. Don't even think about it. Could have gone JMO as well to go Goff here, but we're just so set at receiver. Okay, thank God. And JMO, someone that's been falling from this spot as well. Like, this is kind of early for him. Going to be suspended 6 games. And he had question marks before that. Fantasy Football Garage, always appreciate you retweeting the live streams. That is just like, it helps so much. Small channel. Just to get eyes on it is cool. Do you play on drafters at all? No. Do you recommend Do you recommend drafters? Let me know. Ryan says he stacked Gabe Davis instead of going for the usual Ayuk. Yeah, that's fine. Completely fine. Getting the correlation there. Lover says never played on it, but I think it might be a bit dot dot dot. Might be a bit dot dot dot. Let us know. We're up in 17 picks. Let's go pick history. Let's see if anyone's doing any crazy shit. I mean, we got Williams 15 picks after ADP. That's another gift. We've been just value hounding this draft. Tony went 16 picks after ADP, but that makes sense because he shouldn't really be a PPR monster. Not really expected to be that guy to get a high target share of his offense. Left Star says $20 entry, $1 million best ball, no playoffs, week 1 to 17. Interesting. Ryan says he did drafters last year, overall scoring week 117, so no groups, top score wins. See, I would actually be good at that because we are very good at just kind of identifying value. Extremely long cash games last year, and that's all it is. Like, you're not really looking for like week 17 correlation, etc. You're just picking the best pick in that range. We ended up with like a 41% ROI in cash games, like 400 cash games last year. 50% deponent deposit up to $100 might be 200 and do like 12 entries. Yeah, could do that. Buddy, I'm convinced. You convinced me. I'm in. You get free drafts out of it. Like, the thing is, if it's already opened, where we were so in tuned with the ADPs, I don't know. I feel like I would have missed out on it by now. That's an app where you're not really as worried about the schedule for week 17. You're just looking at drafting the best value players, and with the ADPs maybe already kind of averaged in and shifted, it might be too late. Our window might have left us. Always looking for the edge. Where's the edge? You got to play to your advantages. That's all. Oh, it says only has 467 out of 111,000. That's fine. Damn. Who do you work for? You trying to get us hooked? I do like the way this is laid out. I know the week 17 is a bigger contest, but if you can just positively correlate your teams in a way that gives you upside, such as, at least getting one pass catcher, we could easily get. Is Cole Kmet still on the board? Cole Kmet's off, but is Mooney might be off as well. No, Mooney's there. So like we could still correlate Justin Fields late. We could get Jared Goff a double stack. This is just different ways to increase your there he goes. I spoke him into existence and then he went poof. Increases your upside for week 17 when you correlate like that. Since I don't work for anyone, I've just been clicking around. No, I appreciate you dropping that knowledge. So drafters just drop their tournament. That's cool. That is cool. Khalil Herbert off the board. I think he's going to fall a little bit once you get some news about Rashawn Johnson just doing well in practice. I really do think he's going to challenge Herbert for the number 1 spot just on first and second down. Khalil Herbert, not a lot of people know, but he's 5'9", kind of a smaller back. Jamal Williams, not a PPR guy, should not be ranked here. Not a PPR guy, Not a guy that's really going to hit the 100-yard bonus as well. Jordan Addison, I think, eats into Osborne here. Thielen, not going to be a 100-yard type bonus guy. This range, I will say this range for DraftKings is ugly. So we might have to reach down to get our guys. We have one tight end. Wouldn't mind grabbing Chiggy. I think Chiggy's fine. Yeah, let's grab Chiggy with this spot. They didn't really add much in Tennessee, so Chiggy's role is definitely safe. Should have a pretty good target share of that offense behind Treylon Burks. I don't understand why Thielen's ranked 128 or 130, whatever it is, whatever one you want to go by. This guy's on auto pick. See, it happens in every draft. Give me McKinnon on every single team. That's sort of the way I feel about it. Give me McKinnon on every team. We got him a lot early, like pick 180, 190 that day one, and he is a fast riser. And the day before he signed, we did send out a tweet saying he will be one of the biggest risers. We spoke it into existence. Got the extension the next day. He's just gonna be good on PPR. He's not gonna be like he's not gonna hit the bonus, right? But he's still gonna have that role in the red zone, along with being a PPR guy. I think it has pretty good. He has 2 touchdown upside. That's the thing. So he has that spike potential. What you're looking for. And this range is ugly. Like, sure, you can go Jalen Hyatt, but they signed every single running back that didn't have a job in the offseason. Jordan Love goes. Let's pull up the pick history. Knox goes. Gallup goes 21 picks early, but honestly, I like that. Does Mario have? Mario has Prescott as well, so reaching up, getting his guy. Oh. Daniel Jones correlation, so that makes a lot of sense as well with Hyatt. Foreman. I don't know. Foreman. Does anyone like Foreman's ADP at 141 with Rashawn Johnson and Khalil Herbert there? That seems way off. In my opinion, he should be going near like Chuba Hubbard. Mayer off the board, Rashee Rice off the board. Rashee Rice, we'll see. We'll see if Casey can hit on a receiver this offseason. Pickett goes. Kendre Miller goes. I like the Kendre pick. We're hoping that he was going to fall to us. I had a small chat with someone on the Twitter machine about Eckler versus Bijan. Who do you guys have in this DK format? Eckler versus Bijan. Just curious. Wow, Jeff Wilson, 23 picks before ADP. Guess you really want Jeff Wilson there. I agree, Wilson over Mostert, but let's see who else is here. Yeah, I guess it's a pretty ugly range. Josh Downs goes. Bijan for sure. Wow. Eckler. I mean, the number one PPR scoring player, counting Justin Jefferson as a wide receiver 1 last season. Eckler finished number 1 overall, and then he finished number 2 for running backs the year behind that, with only Jonathan Taylor scoring more points than him. He'd have a similar role, in my opinion, and I think that's why he's being discounted. I've been scooping all the Eckler I can. I think he's in for another monster season. They add a wide receiver, but that's really only going to hurt Palmer, in my opinion. The Chargers threw the ball the second most of any team last season. It was like 41, 42 attempts a game. I just think there's less risk. Like, you sort of know his role already. Love this auto picker right before us, though. Okay. We have 4 wide receivers, 4 running backs. We definitely have to – we haven't picked a wide receiver since we got Ayuk at like an extreme value here. You have Donovan Peoples-Jones, Alec Pierce. Let's bring in Alec Pierce. Anthony Richardson has a big arm. That's exactly what you're looking for Alec Pierce. Okay. Who just went? Because he just double picked super fast. Everett and Mostert. Wow. Thanks for taking those 2 guys off the board. Just going to go DPJ here. Let's go DPJ. Had a real good connection at the end of the season, so we'll see if that continues early season. Depends on how soon Allen gets hurt. Damn. I mean, his hamstring is holding on by a thread right now. He's a PPR beast, though. And Keenan Allen's good in my book. He helped us win Battle Royale week 18. He's definitely good in my book. If you guys haven't already, drop a like in the live stream. And what really helps is the comments on the videos afterwards really boost the videos. All right, let's read it off. We got Justin Fields, Najee Harris, James Cook, CeeDee Lamb, Amon-Ra St. Brown, Drake London, Dallas Goedert, Brandon Ayuk. I mean, that seems strong just as a starting crew. Javonte Williams for like end season upside, Jerry Goff, Chiggy, Jerick McKinnon, Alec Pierce, Donovan Peoples-Jones. Like, these are like best ball guys in my opinion. They're not the highest for full point PPR, but can they spike in the 100-yard bonus? Like, I think they each will at least once next season. It's not going to be like 3+ times. I'm not predicting that, but they are those deep shot guys where they can get there in a few catches, 3 catches. Break a long one. That's what you're looking for. You're looking for upside. I want them to be able to spike into your lineup. Again, this is best ball. Falcons will pound Bijan in the run game too. Quentin Johnson, I'm thinking, might take away some of the checkdowns from Herbert. We'll see. I think there's plenty to go around in that offense, though. Plenty to go around. Gotta love these auto drafters. This tournament just became a 2 advance out of 11. Yeah, one person paying the rake for us, for the Pounders. Seems to happen in these drafts very, very often. So we love that. Absolutely love that. J5704, welcome to the live stream, says Pounders. What's going on, Jay? Out in Maine. Out in Maine with Johnny. Tell Johnny to get his internet fixed. Seven picks. We just had Wan'Dale Robinson picked. Oh, God. Probably one of my better fades this offseason is Kenneth Gainsell early into the big board. If you guys were with us then, you were hearing us talk about it every single time he came up. Fade Kenneth Gainsell. Okay. Caught up at wide receiver, definitely. 2-6, 2-4-6, 2 builds, super balanced, which is what we're always trying to do here. Always trying to build a balanced lineup with correlation. Give it a shot to get into the tournament. That's all you can hope for. Give every lineup an honest shot. Tyquan Thornton picked super early there. 24 picks per ADP, but I'm fine with it. No, we get sniped on Laporta. Who did it to us? Oh, uncorrelated Laporta. I don't love it. I don't love it. Because we have Jared Goff, maybe? I don't know. I'll have to come back to it. I'll have to come back to it. Right now, I'm just mad. Um, man, if I'm thinking about like who has, let's go Elliott here. We might be done at running back if we get to double tap these guys. Let's see if he. Zach Ertz. I like Samuel. Let's go Chase Brown. We're done at running back. We could honestly stop at 2 tight ends with Chiggy and Goddard. We'll see who's there in the 20th round. Did want the double stack with Jared Goff, but that's fine. Jay says he has to pedal a stationary bike to make the modem work. Yeah, no, definitely. Definitely does. Oh my God. So much pain. So much pain. Zeke. Now that I look at it, guys, this Zeke pick 100% should have been Fournette. 100%, without a doubt. Oof. Lenny's going to end up on like the Patriots or something and catch 55 balls next year. It's pretty much guaranteed. Not the Patriots landing spot, but for him to catch 50 balls when he lands on a team. We need to pound in wide receivers now. No pun intended. No pound pun. We have 4 spots left. We probably need 3 receivers. We have Jared Goff, who provides a nice little base, and then we have Justin Fields for the rushing upside. So I think we can stop there at 2 QBs and be completely fine. And they both have potentials to hit different spikes as well. We have Javonte Williams, who's going to start a little slow to the season, we suspect. We have Jerick McKinnon, who just resigned in free agency, Zeke, Chase Brown, and then Najee Harris, James Cook. So with 4 spots left, if we don't draft a tight end and we don't draft a QB, we can go 3 receivers and 1 more running back. Let's see who comes back to us. Just sort of select the best available. Brock Purdy. If you guys are new on DK, we do have our promo link in the description. If you deposit $20 or more, you get a free $20 in your first draft for this tournament is free. Lenny goes, definitely goes way too late. It's insane. Unless he retires. Malik Davis. Digging early. We're talking 36 picks. Did Pollard just like get arrested or something? Curtis Samuel off the board. Definitely someone we were eyeing. Hunter Renfrow. Give us Hardman. Give us Hardman 30 picks after ADP. The disrespect. That'd make me feel pretty good about my team. Not going to lie. It's Hardman the piece we need for week 17. 2 touchdowns from Aaron Rodgers, a jet sweep. Just kidding. Wow. We do get Hardman 30 picks after ADP. That's nuts. This is like he's a starting receiver for the Jets. And Tannehill goes. Who's the other pick he went? He went Zach Moss and Tannehill. Dude, I don't understand the reaches here. It's a simple game. Pick players that are going to score points. Van Jeffy, welcome to the team. Feel real good about bringing in those two and stopping at 8 receivers. Van Jefferson, Hardman, DPJ, Alec Pierce, Ayuk, Drake London, Amon-Ra St. Brown, and CeeDee Lamb. I think I got one more trick up my sleeve for my last pick. We'll see. We might get sniped again. It might just not work. But I have one more trick. And then we'll go over some of these late round guys because a lot of these guys aren't going to score a lot of points. Nathaniel Dell is a love. If you don't have, like, we have 8 receivers, but if you went maybe 7 receivers within the first 11 rounds, or if you went 6 receivers within the first 10 rounds, and you want to add on someone who's going to get you through the bye weeks and have a pretty good floor, I think that's going to be Nathaniel Dell this season. Cedric Tillman at 226 is interesting. If he can take over the job from DPJ, like late into the season. Isaiah Likely off the board. Mario's on the clock. Let's see what Mario does. Mr. Dookie took Trey McBride. Rand taking Conklin. Mario taking Gus Edwards. I think there might be higher upside guys at running back than Gus Edwards, but depending on your build, maybe you just needed some for sure points at running back. Barkley, Dobbins, P. Ryan, Gibson, Hunt, Gus Edwards. Yeah, I'm fine with the Gus pick. He's just not the highest upside for full point PPR. But not a bad handcuff, that's for sure. Change your pace back. They didn't really touch on running back as well. So I get the Gus pick. I like it better on underdog. All right, we're up in 13 picks. We have 2 spots left. We have 2 picks left. Running back and receiver, I believe. 2 tight ends, Okonkwo and Goddard. I think that's fine. Like, is anyone really going to add value to those 2 out of these remaining tight ends? And it might not even be. Some of these guys might get picked as well. I don't really see them adding a ton of value. Okay. Jerome Ford off the board. It's a sneaky good pick. Zach Evans gone. Great pick here, Zach Evans. Like, they clearly don't like the RB2 behind Akers. He didn't get used really at all last season, and they were fiddling through every single running back they had. Akers, Henderson, Kyron Williams. So they bring in Zach Evans. They don't use a lot of draft capital on him, but that doesn't mean he can't win the job. The backup gig behind Akers. So I do love Zach Evans here in the 19th. He snipes him 11 picks early, which that's exactly where you need to get him to be able to draft him. It's a good pick. Ingram, sneaky draft winner. No one's really talking about it. I like that pick a lot. I just made that. Cobrian. This is a sneaky pick. Sneaky draft winner. No one's really talking about it. No one really knows. That's the thing. So if Connor goes down, there's your guy. Anaconda goes. And James Robinson. Okay, so at least we get our receiver here. We are going to get our correlation, our double stack with Marvin Jones Jr. I kind of feared that it would look like this at running back at the end here. Do we just go tight end? Because I didn't think Henry was going to be here. Goddard, Chiggy. I think tight end here might be the best. How many running backs do we have? We have 6. Najee and Hare. Yeah, I don't love these running backs. Really don't. Let's just go Henry. I think he's going to get us the most points. These running backs are thin. It really gets thin. Eric Gray's fine. What's the write-up on him? Yeah, he'll face 5th round Evan Hull, PPR guy. Zamir White, I think's like someone that we've been going a decent amount in these with the last round pick. He was another draft winner, in my opinion. McBride, but he's going to have to beat out Madison for the backup job. These guys, it's just like, nah, dude, no thanks. I'm out. I'm out on at least these 3 in half-point PPR. And even Johnson got competition in the draft. Chris Evans is a no. Yeah, Zamir White goes to Mario's team. Paris Campbell to Mr. Dookie. Isaiah McKenzie to Ranstan. All right. Interesting. I need more Eric Gray exposure. Go on and get it. Go on and get it. Cedric Tillman might go undrafted here. It's crazy. It's crazy. Someone I also like in these drafts is Mingo. He can end up as the wide receiver 1 on his team, and he goes around like 150, 160. Where'd he go here? I'm gonna find his. It was around 157. Someone picked him with pick 118 though. So yeah, I've been getting a lot of Mingo around this ADP. You don't have to reach up that high to get him. But definitely a riser in my opinion. I identify these risers. Have you drafted Josh Kelly at all? I can't. He just didn't look good. He had opportunities. He just didn't look good. Let me get a review on my 4 tight end monstrosity, Reed says. All right, let's pull it up. What spot were you again, Reed? Or what's your name on there? Should be able to find it just by looking at the team that has 4 tight ends. It's 4 tight ends isn't the craziest thing, to be honest. In a 20-round draft, it's not the craziest thing. No, that's Mario. Here it is. I found you. King Reed. Daniel Jones, Josh Jacobs, Aaron Jones, Cooper Kupp, Garrett Wilson. I think this is super strong. Cooper Kupp, Garrett Wilson start. DeAndre Hopkins, Tyler Higbee is fine as a tight end 1 as your not as a tight end 1, but as your first tight end. If you're putting it off, someone that's going to get a good amount of catches. So I think that's a great tight end if you're putting off the tight end position. Kirk, Rashad White on the bench. Tony, Williams, Moore, Jalen Hyatt for the correlation with Jones, Staffy with Cup, Rashawn Johnson, Tank Bigsby, Lenny, super late, Jelani Woods, Noah Fant, and Bellinger. So you could just play in the narrative that Darren Waller gets hurt for the playoffs, and you get in there with Bellinger, you get in there a little different, and you have Danny Dimes. I like the team. You went 2 QB, so you went Staffy and Daniel Jones. That might be a little thin in 20-round drafts. Daniel Jones isn't really someone that's going to hit that 300-yard bonus a whole lot, and Stafford, we all saw last year, it wasn't amazing. So I would like to see at least one QB that can hit that 300-yard bonus. That's not to say that Daniel Jones won't do it a single time this season, but is Sean Tucker not in the DK player pool? He might not be. I actually think if you weren't drafted, I don't think you're allowed to draft them. Sorry for the Laporta snipe me at a tight end, and you took my Chiggy. So who sniped who? What do you mean? Tennessee QBs go so late. All right. That's fair. I got there with my Marvin Jones Jr. at the end. I got there still. It's fine. Everything's fine. Everything's gonna be okay. But yeah, that's basically. Let's go over Mario's team. See who he finished off with. Carr, Juwan Johnson, Gesicki, Mac Jones correlation, Kareem Hunt, Gus Edwards, Mariota. Hey, we're back. We're back on the Mariota train. So this is 4 QB, 6 wide receiver. 1. So you went Hill, Smith, Cooper, Christian Watson, Dotson, Gallup. I don't love 6 wide receivers in 20-round drafts, but you're definitely extremely strong at receiver. Tight ends, your first one's Njoku, Juwan Johnson, and Gesicki. I think that's fine. You got 4 QBs. Mariota, obviously, you're just going for like week 17. Jalen Hurts is injured again because he didn't play last season, week 17. Mac Jones, who's not really a bonus guy, but you got Dak. I like the team. It's well correlated. You went and got your guys. Can't be mad at that. Randstand. Yep. Okay. Bryce Young, Jimmy, Laporta, Tajay Spears, Renfro, Conklin, Abanaconda. That was a nice pick. And Isaiah McKenzie, who I haven't really selected a whole lot of. Let's see. I think Josh Downs ends up winning this job, if I had to guess. But the problem that I have with Josh Downs and Anthony Richardson is Josh Downs doesn't have a great catch radius, and Anthony Richardson is not the most accurate quarterback when it comes to tight windows. Yes, he can get separation, but across the middle of the field, if he's jammed up, he doesn't have a great catch radius. Just some random notes there in my brain floating around. But this is a strong team. I like the build. And Mr. Dookie. Josh Allen, Dylan. Okay, I remember this squad. So here's the Gabe Davis pick, which gifted us Ayuk like 18 picks after ADP. Brandon Cooks, Knox, Algier, Singletary, Rondell Moore, Patterson. This Patterson pick I think should have been Lenny, but that's just my preference. Curtis Samuel, Trey McBride, Robinson. I like these 3 picks late. Dude, Robinson is another sneaky draft winner. You have to give it to him. So Robinson, definitely a sneaky draft winner. Paris Campbell. I don't know. There's so many heads in New York. Like, who really knows who's going to win those jobs? At the end of the season, I expect Wan'Dale Robinson to be on the field. I expect Slayton to be on the field. Hyatt kind of plays like a similar role. Obviously, Waller will be out there. It's just weird that they pay Slayton and then they pick a player that plays like Slayton with Hyatt. Someone that's good at going deep, straight line speed. Very strange to me. Very strange. And then they don't really touch on running back as well. So if they don't plan to pay Saquon, like what are they kind of doing with the future there? Just mind-blowing sort of stuff. Ryan says, played into a Bijan injury here with the Atlanta 0 RB picks. Love that. Love that. Took their RB2 and 3 was my logic. Where did you get Algier, though? Because he's someone that is going to fall a shit ton, and he should. I can find it here. Okay. We're just going to scroll. Oh, that's why. It's not the full first name. Let's see where you got Algier. I probably passed it. No, I didn't. Okay. So you got him at 152. His ADP is 139. So you did get him 13 picks after ADP. But in the grand scheme of things, should his ADP be higher? Like, who goes at, did someone go after him that we would prefer? Like, would we prefer Singletary? Probably not, to be honest. I think Leonard Fournette, I would prefer, but Rashawn Johnson, I'd prefer. Damn. He went, what was that, 17 picks after ADP? Love that. Love that for Reed's team. Shit. I like Warren as well. But yeah, that's fine. I think when you're doing that sort of thing, like Algier is a good running back to do that with, like 0 RBs, and you're just planning for an injury to give you the most upside. Another one's going to be Elijah Mitchell, but Mitchell more for half point PPR than full point. Definitely. But definitely good builds, you guys. That was a tougher room than normal because we had 5-pounders in that draft, but I still think we ended up with a good squad, a well-correlated team, and that's all you want coming out of these is well-correlated squads with your QBs, Fields, Harris, James Cook, CeeDee Lamb, Amon-Ra St. Brown, Drake London, Goddard, Ayuk, Javonte Williams, Jared Goff, Chiggy, McKinnon, Alec Pierce, DPJ, Zeke Elliott, Chase Brown, McCole Hardman, Van Jefferson, Marvin Jones Jr., and Hunter Henry is the third tight end. So just, I think it's pretty well balanced at least. So guys, things on the pecking order, we have our Discord coming out, which we're going to just start doing a ton of giveaways through there. We're going to try to get some Pounders leagues going, redraft, and that should be fun. But definitely look out for that. Give us a follow on Twitter at Fancy Dog Pound, and I'll catch you guys on the next one. Thanks for coming out. Pounders.